What is the meaning of prayer? What is the meaning of prayer? I'd like to tell you all a story, okay? This was last semester, and I was in Big Bear at a conference with many of you. You all remember that? And it was really, really cold. I don't know if you remember that. It was below freezing. There was snow. And being the incredibly prepared person that I always am, I forgot to bring a sleeping bag. So we stayed overnight. It felt like the cabin we were in didn't have heating. So I was there with just about every article of clothing that I had, wearing it to try to keep warm. I was on the couch. I kind of took some of the pillows and tried to form it into some semblance of a blanket to get myself some extra warmth. I slowly fell asleep. In the middle of the night, probably around maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, my body it violently woke me up. And I realized I'm really cold. The coldness, I don't know what happened to the heater, but the coldness had basically kind of seeped in, and I began to shiver. And I realized, man, if I don't do something right away, I'm basically going to get sick. I'm going to get really sick. So I was desperately looking for something to warm myself up. I didn't bring a sleeping bag. There was no blankets. I was already wearing almost everything that I had brought. And I remember that a brother on the other side of the living room, he had a heat dish. So I kind of quickly, I'm feeling the sickness coming upon me. And I quickly kind of went over to the other side and, I hurriedly turned the knob to try to get it to turn on. Nothing happened. I followed the cord and realized that it wasn't plugged in. So I took the heat dish, found a nearby outlet, jammed it into the, the socket, and basically, then the heat dish began to hum. It had sort of an orangish glow, and I just sat there. I sat there like this, I'm shivering. I'm just desperately waiting for this heat dish to warm up. And I don't even remember how long I was sitting there. I got up at one point to get more clothes, the clothes that I hadn't worn, my dirty clothes, to put on because I was so cold. But I got up too soon. And once I left the heat dish, my body started shivering again. So I quickly abandoned that plan and went, and just, took my position again in front of the heat dish to get warm. And I was there actually for a long time. Eventually, I moved the heat dish closer to the couch that I was sleeping at, and just kind of had it really close to me. And I was probably about a foot away, really close. My point of telling you this story is the fact that the meaning of prayer is to sit in front of a heat dish. And of course, I'm not talking about a literal heat dish, but in this illustration, that heat dish is really God Himself. And to pray is to come before Him and to absorb His warming rays. The reason why this is so important is because very often we may pray, but we don't actually come and absorb something of Him. You see what I mean? To really summarize this, we could say that the meaning of prayer is to contact and even to absorb God.